Hello folks, Mel the Terrain Tutor back in my happy place and back with some terrain for you. But before I do, I won't say I got emotional over the response to that little video I put out, but thank you for the wonderful, warm welcome back, guys. Glad to see you're all still here, and you are, clearly. I think when I last looked it was 680 comments. Now, I can't even like them all, let alone reply to them all, but I have read them all. A few times. Thank you. Now, it's done me the world of good because here I am, and this is what you're after. This smile, this terrain. All I need from you is just keep that bit up, yeah? Let me know you're glad I'm here, and that'll work. Right, for those of you like me who've got a bit foggy on what's going on, this terrain set. I've been working on this terrain set for a while now. Okay, and it was sort of inspired by Valhiem. It's a Nurgle terrain set. Yeah, and we've got various other pieces. There's other videos in the back. I won't get them out now yet. And I'm going to do a showcase once we've finished it. Yeah, so if you like a surprise and you haven't seen it, wait till the next vid. But I need to finish off some pieces. Yeah, and the issue I'm having is when I put the flock on the top of here, you can see it's a bit shiny. Yeah, you see the track marks from where the PVA ran. What I should have done is pre-soaked it and wet it so that the PVA naturally blended everywhere. But, you know, old grey matter and a bit of cortisol messes things up. Now I'm a bit clear-headed. I can see where I went wrong, but we've got to fix it. Now, I did try and fix it a while ago by giving it a quick spray of matte varnish, and I've been using, yeah, this one. I think this is, who is this? Valhiem. Yeah, I've been using this, but I put it through the airbrush and I wasn't it hasn't really worked that well. I think it just may be a bit too fine. So what I'm going to do is we'll just go and give it a go with a brush. Worst case scenario, I just shine the whole thing up and I'll soak the thing in PVA. We'll figure it. But the important thing is we need to get this finished. Okay, it's about finishing it not being perfect, because the plan was for this to be sent off to Models for Heroes. You know, the emergency services and armed forces, what do you call it? Mental health support. Charitable organisation. They're not a charity, they're a CIC. Yeah? Community Incorporated Company, I think that is. But anyway, yeah, the idea is this has gone off, but I haven't been in touch with them for a while, you know, because with the old grey matter. And I need to retouch base, but I want to get this finished first. So, yeah. We're going to go with, dead simple, yeah, nice fine acrylic nail brush. Yeah, I'm just going to brush it on. And all I'm going to do is, I want to get rid of these track marks. That's what I'm looking to get rid of. Yeah, and luckily, right now in the UK, we're in a heat wave. So, I should be able to take this out and this should dry really quickly. Yeah, so we'll see whether applying just a little bit of matte varnish over the individual streaks areas works. Yeah, and if that doesn't, I'll look at applying it just across the whole skull and see if that blends it out. If that doesn't work, I'll just varnish the whole thing, but we'll get rid of them. Right, cracking on time. See you after the flash. Right, they're in the hallway and they're drying very quickly. I was a little bit worried when I was putting them on because the colour started to change and the greens got a lot lighter. Then I remembered, one, it's white, but also it's a liquid, which means it's reflecting more of the light and it's making the light lighter and more vibrant. So it should be fine and they look to be okay. Doing well. But in the meantime, might as well crack on. Now you may notice that I'm actually considering when they're in the middle of a heat wave, and anyone who knows me in the studio in the heat wave, I'm normally melting, but actually I'm not chill. Just a sec. But I'm not overheating. So thank you, Beetle. In the meantime, we're cracking on. Right. What am I doing? Right, let me show you. These are the bases for the pieces, okay? And this sporadic spotting, yeah, that's purposeful. I did that on purpose, genuinely. Yeah, it was to sort of represent the sort of dampness of the broken ground. I'm not sure whether I might go back in with a little bit of varnish on the bigger areas and just make them a little bit more wetter. I was expecting the PVA to do it, but you know what I mean. Finished, not perfect. But we got time. I've got one more studio session on this. I've decided to finish this set because I can keep picking at it. I'm giving it 2 full studio sessions. Yeah. So basically today and then Monday. We'll see how we go. Right. So as you can see, yeah, it's quite nice. But for a swampy ground, the ground's quite bare. And if you notice, I've got the clump on. I've got tufts on. Yeah, so I've got the prerequisites. But they kind of stick out. It doesn't look natural. And this is because we've got no ecotone. We've got no blending between the ecology of the large plants and the ground foliage. Basically, we've got no medium stuff. So I've been digging in the great hole, in the great, what you call it, Mr. Maker drawers, and I found a couple of things. Now, I found these, okay, and these are bristles off a brush. So what I'm thinking is, pair of scissors, give them a bit of bend, yeah, that'll make some interesting, what you call it, sprinkle foliage. I also found these, okay. Now I was looking at these and it's like, they're nice. Yeah, that'll look really well on there. But those light bits completely throw it. So what to do about that? Then I remembered, I've got a bag of this stuff, sycamore seeds I collected off a tree myself. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is good old army paint soft tone. Yeah, which is basically like a stain ink thing. I'll have to figure that one out. It's been a while. I don't want to say things about army painted paints when, you know, I'm not 100% sure. But basically, I've got some greaseproof paper. I've got some wash. I'm going to mix it all up on the plate, spread it all out on here, let it dry, and create my own darker leaf scatter. Hopefully that'll be enough. Oh, one other thing. On top of that, whilst I was going through, if you remember, long-time followers, I went through a spate of making my own little tufts. Yeah, well, I made these tufts. Now look at this. Look how close they are. Yeah, if I bring it up. Look how close they are to the larger World War Scenics tufts, swamp tufts. So I've got small size tufts I can integrate on. Yeah, so what I need to do is first get these stained. So all I'm going to do is put some blobs out. I'm going to pull this out so you can see it. It'll take me a little while to get used to where my camera angles are and where I hold things, guys. It's been a while, but I'll get back in the flow. Right, then what we've got to do is thin it down a bit. We want to thin it down because it does have a little bit of a bonding agent and we don't want them to, what you call it, to bond to each other. Yeah. So that should do. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to soak them in that and then drag it that way. If you can really see, if I bring it up, it's starting to go darker. I may have thinned it a little bit too much, or I may need a little bit more wash on. Never actually done this before. Yeah, so at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, we do have other foliage we can mess around with. I'm quite enjoying it. So let's see where this goes. Right, let's mix that lot up. Yeah, that's better. What I'm trying to do is basically, and this is soft tone. Tell you what we'll do. Yeah, I'm going to crack on, what you call it, with this one, but I'm going to do 3 batches. So we'll get this spread out on the plate, on the greaseproof paper, and then I'll go through medium tone and dark tone through the other 2 tones. And then, worst case scenario, we've got a mix. Right, let me put a little bit more in, soak up those juices. Right guys, I'm going to crack on with this, and then once I've done the 3 mixes, I've got them on the greaseproof paper. In fact, let me get them on the greaseproof paper so you can see how I'm doing that. Not like I'm going to teach you anything. I've just no idea how this will actually pan out, so it might be funny. Good to have back, isn't it? Right. Put those over there and do not spill them everywhere. Well, what do you reckon? Do you reckon I just sprinkle them out, or I'll just scrape them out? So I'm making a recipe. Oh, look at that. How much is actually there? Oh, that's a good way of draining it first. Oh, I like that. Right, can I harvest that? Okay, so, right, I'm going to try and scrape all this downwards. Yeah, because all of that is there. Now, it doesn't matter if it sticks too much because it's rather brittle, and when it dries, I'll be able to crumble it. Yeah, but what we don't want is loads of that. So, very quickly, yeah, we'll just dump it there. Because planning and preparation. See, trained. And I'll wipe that all with a cloth in a minute. Calm down, it's just terrain. Right, spread that out. Yeah, I've got no idea how this is going to turn out. But we'll give it a go. Right. Forgot how I used to do things. Right, we can crumble that down. Does look a little bit light, but we'll try the other 2 tones. So I'll be back after the flash. We'll have a look what the other two tones look like, yeah? Right, they're done. Have a look. Yeah? I'm not sure if you can see the difference, but that's definitely lighter than that one, but they seem pretty equal between the strong tone, yeah, which is that stuff, and the... Where's the dark tone gone? I'll put it in the... And the dark tone. Okay? Now, that's the natural stuff, or the stained stuff. Definitely different, but I've got to soak the moisture up. I've got to see how it is, but it's going to leave to dry. So I'm going to leave this dry, and it is quite wet, so this is going to have to leave overnight. In the meantime, yeah, all I'm going to do is I'm cutting myself some of these off, so I'm ready to do some sprinkling. I've got the tufts, and when the skulls are ready, we can start basing next time in the studio. So, hopefully, after these photos, if I remember to take them, yeah, in fact, I'll take one quickly now, yeah, but after these photos, we'll be back to put this on the base and show you how the matte varnishings ended up, yeah? Well, the day has passed, they are dry, and so are these. Now, a quick nose at these, because I don't want to spoil the showcase, yeah? But that's sorted out those streaking perfectly. Yeah, I've still got a little bit of dampness on the top, that sort of works. Yeah, I could hit those, you know, and level it off, but I quite like it. Yeah, the others are the same, so no need to show you those. Now, on to our little experiment, our little terrain lab. I haven't done one of those in a while. Right, here we go. I need to turn around this way. So, soft, strong, and dark tone. So, soft tone, yeah, that's not going to work for our swamp base. But let's just show you how you can just break them up once it's dry. Yeah, so no issues staining and then reusing them as long as you put them on greaseproof paper, because nothing sticks to grease. Oh, got lost then. Through me. Right, yeah, because nothing sticks to greaseproof paper. Right, let's have a look at the darker ones. Yeah, now first, before we do that, what I want to do is sort of remove these from the equation. Yeah, so we need to discard these. Yeah, they're gone. Yeah, like an idiot, so half of those. It's all right, I actually prefer these, and I don't need that many. But let's have a quick look at the really strong ones. Just a minute, I'll pick them up. I'm leaving this in. It's proper metal. Yeah, see, we've got plenty. Right. Strong tone. Yeah. These, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're dark enough. Let's have a look. See, there's the odd light one, but they are actually quite a dark mix. Quite like them. Okay, okay. I mean, there might be the odd light. Thing is, yeah, if you turn them over. I've seen these staining better. Right, the dark ones. Definitely work. That's more of a woodland, not a swamp. That would work for like woods and stuff like that. Definitely. I've decided right now that as I look at these, if I put these on these swamp pieces, I know that I'm going to have to go in and do something extra. And it's going to bother me. Yeah, it's going to spoil the project for me. And it's important for me, personally, that I not only finish this project, but I feel good about it. So here's what I'm going to do. Yeah, right now, that's a good idea, but I am not going to apply it to this project. But I think it merits further exploration. Yeah, we need to look into actually how to get this good. And, you know, it's been a while since I've done a terrain lab, and I think that would be a good video. You know, it's one of those that it's easy for me to just roll with while I get back in the saddle of talking to you. You know, we get back into doing things how we do them. So, right. Terrain lab, here's what I need from you, because you know, I need your help. Yeah, if you've got any experience with silver birch seeds, staining them and that sort of stuff, if you've got any ideas about staining them, get them in the comments, okay? And what we'll do is, for my next terrain video, we'll do a quick terrain lab. I mean, I've got a whole bag of them, yeah? So let's figure, I've got pretty much everything I think we might need, yeah? So let's figure that out, yeah? So, for that, in the comments, we'll do a terrain lab on this, and we'll figure this out properly. In the meantime, we've got to crack on with the actual turfing up. So, those are a no-go right now. Yeah, because, yeah, they're just odd ones too light. Right, we've got these tufts that I did. These can go straight on now. These were made in one of my flocking videos. I use self-adhesive, latex glue. So, it should just be a matter of grab these. Grab one. Do they peel off? Oh, yeah. And then that didn't peel off. Right. Another go. Are these too sticky? Have they been in the cupboard too long? Let's have a look. They are. The problem is, one of the problems is that really tiny tufts. And I really should be using. Yeah, get. Really? Right. Okay, that's a big one. Let me try that one. Okay, that's peeled off better. Okay, right. Okay, that goes down. Right, I need a pair of tweezers to peel these off and apply them. Right. It does sort of work, the colour. Yeah, the colour does work. They are short tufts, and they have been on a while. This is going to be a bit fiddly. But what I've realised is these patchiness that I left in that, I was going to, you know, put a bit of varnish in to give it that wet look. That's going to be a pain in the backside to do now. But I can use these, yeah, to fill these gaps. And I don't even have to decide where I need to put the turfs. Technically, I've already got a guide. Just look for the flat bits. So, with that in mind, yeah, I'm not going to let you have the entertainment of watching me struggle figuring out how to get these off here. You've laughed enough. I'll see you in a moment. All the best. Right, that went better than expected. And I got the whole sheet done. And I'm not sort of hot and sweaty because it was a nightmare. It's actually quite easy. It's because it's about 31 degrees outside. But I want to get this little bit finished before I call it and head for the cool. Right, let me show you what we've got. So, if I bring this up to you, yeah, do you see how the addition of all those small tufts really started to add detail to the piece? You know, they've broken it up. It's looking a hell of a lot better. Now we need to take it the next step. And for the next step, yeah, I've got this mix. Now this mix is little brush bristles. Grab them. Yeah, these fibres off like a old brush. It's little bits of twig chopped up. There's a little bit of very fine ground foliage, and I'll throw those in anyway. I figure, well, I've done a test piece, and I'm not sure if I like it. I'm not sure if I might go back and do ink, but what I do know is I really do want to have these sort of loose scatter on the pieces. Yeah, even if that means I've got to put the extra effort in. But it's fine, it's a hobby. It's not a job. Yeah, things get confusing on that count, but it's a hobby. So it's fine, take your time. Well, I'm taking my time. That's the plan. Right. So, how are we doing this? Well, as you can see, here, I have water here. I have watered down PVA here. Both of them have isopropyl alcohol in, so they flow really well. And then I've got on my mix. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to get my mix while it's dry. Yeah, I'm just going to give it a little bit of a sprinkle. Yeah, I haven't got much mix. So it's just about breaking up these flat areas. Yeah, I don't have to coat everywhere. I just need to make a distraction. I'm dragging it off any resin. And I've got it on the paper, not to soak in the PVA, but to pick these bits up, because I'm not sure if I've got enough. I could make some more, but I'm being finicky. So all I'm going to do is quickly, yeah, I'm trying not to rush this for the video. Yeah, and do it properly, because I'll do the others off screen. I suppose if I'm not rushing it, I should just leave these bits. Around there. So just round, let's do a little bit here, a little bit there, spread that out a bit. Oh. Right, as I seal this, I'll be sealing it with PVA. Now my go-to method to removing PVA from resin after sealing, yeah, is just strong kitchen roll with water. But I have been off the sort of scene for a while. If anyone's come up with, you know, a better way of removing PVA sealant from resin, yeah, just let me know in the comments. If they haven't, I'll just crack on, we'll clean it up with a little bit of water. Yeah. See, that's a bit OTT. I'm only supposed to be doing a sprinkle. It's only supposed to be breaking up the ground. But there you are, I'm happy with that, he says. Right. So, yeah, quickly move that off. I'm not going to bother with that in future. I've got enough. Yeah, but you can see how that's broken all that ground up. Next, what we need to do is we need to stick it down. Now, the watered down PVA, it's thicker. Even though it's got isopro in, yeah, it does still blob a bit. So first we're going to wet water it with water with isopropyl alcohol. And all we're going to do is, yeah, literally just go around. Yeah, and this applies water to the area so that when we apply our PVA, it just flows into it. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. This will hold down the little bits, all the little leaves and everything. Yeah, and hold it in place so it doesn't get washed away by the PVA as well. Stuff always does get moved. Yeah, and don't be gentle with this. You know, you can really put it on because it'll just help it soak. Yeah. And then here. You know those silver birch sheets that were dark? I think they've only been stained on one side. I think they put them all, flattened them on a sheet and just sprayed them with something and then bagged them. Shocking. We'll have to figure out how to get some really nice colours like green ones and leaf litter, because I have got some stained green ones. You've got some stained green ones somewhere. Okay, let's just forget Mel remembered that, okay? Yeah, just for all our sanities. Let's forget that we've got the perfect leaves already in the cupboard somewhere. Oh, no. Right, let's crack on. Right, so almost completed. Yeah, that's looking good. and all done. So that's all wet watered. Yeah, you can see it all nice and shiny. And look what happens when I add the PVA. See how it all flows? It's just picking it all off everywhere I need it to. It's just flowing. There's no blobbing. If I put my PVA here, do you see how it sits as like a blob? Yeah. Whereas if I get a little bit of wet water, I put it down there, I put a blob on. You see how it goes? Poof. Yeah. Spreads out. So that's what we're using. We're using the reduced surface tension caused by the isopropyl alcohol to help as a flow aid to carry the PVA glue in and around our foliage to bond it. Sounds like I'm back. I'm not fully back, but all great matter's working again. Well, can't sing. Not because of copyright issues, but you lot will start complaining in the comments. Now, I know there'll be people saying, why don't you just get a sprayer and that sort of stuff? Because I'm doing my hobby. I'm not trying to rush. I'm trying to enjoy it. That's the point. The only time to rush is if you've got a game the next day and you need to finish the train off because your mate's coming around and you want to impress them. Okay? That's going very dark green there. I don't have an issue with it. I'm just curious as to. I wonder if what they've stained it with I'm washing off. Ooh, this could be interesting. I guess we'll find out when it dries, because I can't do anything about it now. Oh, wrong one. I want glue, not extra water. That's wet. And basically, you see what I'm doing here. In fact, I've almost just done. Right. Yeah, that is going a bit funky there. Right, I'm happy with that. Okay, so that's all PVA'd. Yeah. Just got to leave that to dry now. Won't take long. We'll put it on the drying rack over there. Yeah, and I'll crack on with those. I'll see you shortly, folks. Right, I'm still in the middle of flocking my ground cover, but it's actually the next day. It just basically got too hot in here by about 4 o'clock and I had to bail it, so I only got about halfway through. But what this does mean is as I've come in the morning, I've got pieces that have actually dried with the flocking on, and I've got unflocked pieces, which means I've got perfect opportunity just to show you the before and after. So, right, this is what our pieces look like before. Yeah. You can see the ground cover there. And then if I grab this one here, put it, I'll show you that one. Yeah, you can see the leaves. And yeah, I did end up going with the leaves and that sort of stuff. I do like them. I might knock them back a bit, but very quickly, drop it down. Put them next to each other. Oh, yeah, on the camera, boss. You can see the difference that this ground cover makes. The other thing that I quite like about it is because I've hit it with another coat of PVA on top of the sealing coat I did for the clump foliage and the tufts that were first on. Yeah, it's given it a slightly darker, wetter look because that's slightly more dry, yeah, than if you look at, say, that. Also, it's made these little, I filled in a lot of the little patchy bits with the drops, which work well, but the little ones that I've left, it's actually made them shine a little bit more, which means it's worked well. Now, I've got 2 more pieces to finish before, because I've done the others, yeah, and then that's done. And then I've got an idea for one final finishing touch, so I'll come back with that shortly. Right, they're all done. But I haven't finished my little extra bit. I was thinking about it, and it's like, I've never done this before. I'm going to be messing around. I could spoil it, yeah? And there were all negative feelings about it. And I thought, do you know what? I really like them as they are. And we've already said we're going to be doing a little terrain map on this, and I might touch it up a little. So I'm holding off on this extra little treat, and I'm going to explore it while we do the terrain map. So remember, I need comments about how to stain this sort of stuff, your ideas down in the links below. But that's what the set's going to end up looking like. Now, I'm not showing you the full set because I want to save it for the showcase. I want to be proud and show it off with the full mat and everything. Yeah, it's taken long, and this is a big one. So it may not be finished. I'm sorry, it may not be perfect, but it is finished for now. So I'm already in touch with the charity again. As I mentioned, this set was going to be auctioned off, but that was organised ages ago. But I want to have a chat with Models for Heroes, see if we can get that sorted. But I don't know, so I'm not saying anything official on that right now. But other than that, we are done. It has been wonderful to be here. I'm really happy. It's been wonderful to see you in the comments, and loads of old names. I mean, names from like 11 years ago are popping up. It's good. It's good. Get in the comments. If you've got nothing to say about leaves, just say you like what you see. In the meantime, I need to wrap this up. So how did we do it? Look, you've been here long enough. You've been on YouTube long enough. If you've lasted this long, then obviously you're going to have to like the video because you've lasted to the end. So click the like button. If you're new here and you're not subscribed, well, you know how that works. I'll leave that to you. In the meantime, there's links down below. But above all, hit the comments, That's what I really want to see. All the best, Ta-da!